All right, and we are back in the lobby bar for the week of September the 5th, 2022. Brian and Michaela here with you as always. And Michaela, today we're going to be doing something a little bit different for the lobby bar because we have a lot of cocktails to go over for this week's film, which is the classic of sci-fi classics, Blade Runner. So Michaela, how are you doing? Are you excited to be covering the Blade Runner cocktails this week?
I sure am. I sure am. This is a favorite cocktail list. We've got a lot of fun stuff that's really interesting to taste, and it's one of my husband's, our friend's favorite movie of all time, and so it's
Hmm.
kind of a big deal. It's kind of a big week. So the only way to do this is to have, 37 different cocktails that are representative of all of the layers of amazingness that make up Blade Runner.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So similar to what we did like with the Empire Records, we found some good catalog of recipes to that kind of celebrate Blade Runner, and we wanted to do a couple of them. So we're going to do one for the main show coming this week, but we had a couple of extras that we wanted to go over because these cocktails looked beautiful. They had some interesting ingredients, and we didn't want to try to cram all of those into the main show. So we're going to take a look at those here for you this week. So Michaela found this recipe sort of guide book sort of thing on a website called mantripping.com, but they actually came from Johnny Walker. So back when Blade Runner 2049, the sequel came out. Johnny Walker put out like this special limited edition of the Black Label that comes in the same bottle that you see in the film Blade Runner, and then they came up with like this big cocktail book of cocktails to go along with it. And we're going to be covering three of those for you today, and we are going to be starting with the Penicillin 2049. Now, obviously, all of these are going to be requiring that you pick up a bottle of Johnny Walker Black Label, which is a blended Scotch, really delicious, really famous, and of course is very important to the Blade Runner universe. So, Penicillin 2049, Michaela, this is kind of a riff on a whiskey sour.
It sure is. And this is probably the most lobby bar-esque of the drinks that we're going to be covering because it is only like four ingredients. We try to keep things simpler on the lobby bar just in general. This drink was created by Tenzin Samdo. And thank you, Tenzin, because this is real tasty. It consists of 1.5 ounces of Johnny Walker Black Label, 1 ounce of clarified lemon juice, and 1 ounce of honey syrup. And then, of course, we have to do something really cool and make like a ginger flavor sensory cloud. And Brian, first, before we talk about how we
Mm-hmm.
made the cloud, I want to talk about the process that you made to make clarified lemon juice because that just sounds really cool and buttery, but I don't
Yep.
know if it's any of that. So tell us all
Yes.
about it.
So yeah, so the clarified lemon juice, that was something that I had never done before. So it sent me on a deep dive through YouTube and the internet trying to figure out how to do that. And I'll put a link in the description to the video that I watched that helped guide my way. But basically, you're going to take some lemon juice. You're going to add in some agar to it, which is like an all natural like vegan gelatin. I think it's made from like seaweed. Basically, you're going to take that, add in a little bit of the agar, allow it to set up. It kind of solidifies into this real light jello sort of thing, and then you strain it out. And basically, the jello pulls all of the like cloudy bits of the lemon juice out, and then you just are left with this crystal clear lemon juice. It's going to be easier if you watch the YouTube video so you can see this in action and get the exact proportions for how much you want to do. But yeah, you're basically making some lemon jello and then straining the juice back out of it. And yeah, it's very clear. It's very like bright smelling, right? Like it
Yeah.
it didn't smell like because I was using like an all natural lemon juice from Lakewood, which is what I like to use if I'm doing stuff with a lot of lemon juice in there, but it didn't have like that. I don't know. It was just much brighter smelling than just the straight up lemon juice, I thought.
Yeah. No, it was brighter in taste, but it had lower acidity, maybe is
Hmm.
how because it tasted like lemon juice. But it didn't do that thing where it sucks all the moisture out of your mouth and you have that tartness, like physical reaction. So it still had all the brightness, but it was very, I don't know, the mouth feel was definitely different.
Yeah, it was a little smoother tasting or something. It didn't quite have that same acid bite as you normally get from the lemon juice. So yeah, so basically just a whiskey sour, and instead of using simple syrup, you're going to use honey syrup, which you can make the same same way. You just mix some honey and some hot water. You can play around with the proportions on that and make it more honey flavored or less. Kind of depends. But you're just going to do that. And then for the ginger flavor sensory cloud, so they actually used in this cocktail a machine called the Loaf, which makes just kind of this cloud uh, of smoke. We don't have one of those. I couldn't find one of those. I don't even know if they still sell those. And it was very expensive when they did sell them. But what I do have is one of those smoke guns that Breville makes, which normally, uses the wood chips, obviously, to make the smoke. So I just took some just crushed ginger, put that in with the wood chips, and we use that then to kind of smoke and lay on a layer of smoke on top of the drink. And I have to say that that added a lot. I thought both kind of in the way that the drink hit your nose as you were drinking it, and then yeah, gave it actually quite a bit of ginger flavor. I wasn't sure how that was going to work.
Yeah. No, it definitely lifted like the flavor of the drink as a whole because you've got the sweetness of the honey, you got this kind of tart brightness in the lemon. Of course, it's got, Johnny Walker in it. It doesn't even taste like Johnny Walker, but you taste it. You have a note in there, but it's not as boozy as you'd think either, which is
Hmm.
um and it's all this, encompassed in this gingery business that only kind of sits on top of the drink. So I don't know how again, I don't know how this guy created this person Tenzin Samdo. I don't know. You did a great job because this is amazing.
Yeah, it was really good. And actually, other than the clarified lemon juice, if you probably didn't want to go through that, you could just use some regular lemon juice and just kind of jazz up this whiskey sour take with the Johnny Walker. So definitely give that one a try. It is very good. It was one of my favorites. That was the Penicillin 2049. Next up, we were doing a drink called the Snake Dancer. This was created by Ezra Starr, and it's going to has a few more ingredients to put together, but a lot of it stuff that you might already have or be able to get pretty easily. So let's throw this one together. So you're going to need 1 ounce of your Johnny Walker Black, a quarter ounce of orange flavored liqueur. So any kind of triple sec, whatever you have on hand. I think we use Cointreau for ours. 1 teaspoon of Italian bitter liqueur. We went with Campari, but you could use Aperol or any of those other kind of Italian bitter liqueurs. I'm sure. You're going to need a half ounce of sparkling wine, 1 ounce of lemon juice, a half ounce of raspberry syrup, and 1 egg white. So what you're going to do is you're going to put all of that stuff, except for the sparkling wine, into your shaker tin. With the egg white, you're going to shake it up for, I don't know, 30-ish seconds. Then you're going to add some ice, shake it again, and then you're going to strain that into your glass, top it with that sparkling wine, and then garnish it with dehydrated raspberries. So we just took those, we muddled them up a little bit, and then kind of sprinkled a layer on top of that egg white, kind of creamy foam that you get on top from this one. Really pretty, really delicious. I don't know. I like this one quite a bit, Michaela.
Yeah. Yeah, for having a lot of ingredients, it came together really well. And it looks really pretty. It's one of my favorite colors. It's like a pinkish um and I think, depending on how much of the Aperol or Campari that you decide to use, we use Campari. Both of those are kind of this pinkish reddish hue. So it's
Hmm.
got, um, you know, use at your own discretion. I really like this. It's a little bit of effervescence because of the sparkling wine. And again, it's only got 1 ounce of Johnny Walker. You taste it, but you don't. This. I would have not have thought of this to be like a Johnny Walker drink at
Yeah,
all.
no, no, this tasted very much even while we were drinking it. I thought that this tasted much more like a gin drink. Like I couldn't pick out the Johnny Walker in this at all. As someone who loves a Negroni, that's kind of the vibe that it gives off because of that Italian bitter liqueur. It's got
Yeah.
like the acid in there from the lemon juice and kind of this tartness from that raspberry syrup that you're putting in there. And then you just get like a ton of aroma on the nose from like those crushed up dehydrated raspberries. And yeah, this was really really delicious. Definitely one to give a try if you like kind of that flavor profile, kind of those more like bitter, more astringent type of cocktails. This one was really good. I like this one quite a bit. And again,
Yeah.
that one was the Snake Dancer. That was really good. And that leaves us with one more for this week's lobby bar, Michaela. We're just going to town. We got 3 cocktails for lobby bar this week. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it all the way through our movie or not, but that leaves us with one more, and that is called the Hive, which required some solid gold in this one, Michaela.
Solid gold. Yep. So this was created by Sam Anderson. It is another ounce and a half of Johnny Walker Black Label. There's a theme. There's a theme going on.
Mm.
Half an ounce of Manuka honey syrup. So that Manuka honey is just a very famous honey. It's like farmed in
It's from
New
New
Zealand
Zealand,
or
I think.
some,
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
some crazy place. So we just got the most expensive honey that we could get and made honey syrup. Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Which
find
which
Manuka.
which by the way was the same honey syrup we used in the first cocktail, the penicillin 2049. So
That's right.
pulling double duty there.
That's right. And again, honey syrup, super easy. It you can do equal parts honey and water and just mix over heat until everything gets combined. Um, that's what we do. You can make it, you can do more honey, you can do less honey, depending on how syrupy and sweet you want it. Then we had three dashes of turmeric bitters, orange zest, and then my favorite part is a gold dipped honeycomb. So what we did was we got some all natural honeycomb, and you've got, edible gold spray, or you could have edible gold um kind of glitter that you can dip it in. And so it looks really cool and really pretty, and just weird because of the shape of the honeycombs kind of, and with the actual honey kind of dripping off of the honeycomb.
Hmm.
Anyway, so you're just going to combine all of these things and into just a rocks glass. You don't need to shake it or any of that. And then you garnish with the orange zest. Um, and then, and when we say garnish, we mean express the oils, kind of rub it around the rim of the glass, that you don't need the orange zest anymore. And then you go ahead and just place the gold dipped honeycomb on the top. And it's so interesting, this one, because the honeycomb kind of melts at the bottom,
Hmm.
and the so it's extra honeyish, but then you've got the crunch of the honeycomb that that adds kind of a layer of flavor,
Hmm.
as well as the sweetness of um the honey syrup. And then this turmeric bitters is kind of strange. Like this was a really interesting take on the kind of this honey whiskey um kind of flavor profile that we've seen before, right? We've seen it. We actually did a whiskey amore, which used honey syrup and a
Hmm.
Japanese whiskey. And this kind of reminded me of that, except for that turmeric bitters was different. I don't know. I really like this one.
Yeah, this one is probably the most like booze forward of the ones that we had, and you could definitely pick up the Johnny Walker in this one. And kind of just you know that riff on the old fashioned there with your sugar and the whiskey and a little bit of bitters on there. But then yeah, you have this kind of honeycomb sort of thing, which gives you a lot of good honey aroma as you're drinking it. And it looks beautiful in the glass. And then we made ours in a rocks glass with the big ice cubes, so the honeycomb just kind of laid on top of that. So then after I was done, I had a little kind of like partially frozen little honeycomb treat to have at the end, which was good. And then, anytime you're bringing, some gold food coloring spray into the mix, you're going to have a good time. So that one, again, was called the Hive. And that is,
Right.
kind of the three cocktails that we did in supplement to Blade Runner because, an all time classic film deserves some all time classic cocktails. And, really excited to mix up a couple of these. We always like it when we find like a big like catalog of things for a movie that we're really into to kind of play around with some new ingredients and do that. So obviously these are a little bit more complicated than our normal lobby bar fare, but we wanted to get these, mix them up, get some pictures of them because they're beautiful. So check out all the social media and stuff like that. We're gonna get those up for everyone to see. So thanks for going along with us on this Blade Runner journey. Now to check in on the box office real quickly, because not a lot going on this weekend. We had Spider-Man No Way Home, of course, was that big re-release. It kind of led the way most of the weekend, but then eventually slipped back into third for the weekend. Top Gun Maverick led the way with close to $8 million. Again, it is up over $700 million for the year. The box office this week, really not great. It was even like National Go to Your Movie Day. You could go to the movie for $3. So that brought in a few extra dollars because there was not a lot going on. We talked about it a little bit last week, Michaela, that Honk for Jesus, Save Your Soul, that was kind of the big notable release for last weekend. Yeah, it came in 14th place with $1.7 million. So not
Ooh,
good. Things are not looking not looking bright for the box office either last weekend or kind of these weeks coming up.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I looking at the list of the stuff that's coming, we got Medieval. I don't know if I've ever heard of Medieval. Um,
Nope.
Brahmastra Part One, which Shiva. I think that sounds very Bollywood-esque. Um,
Yeah, that looks like a action adventure film out of India. Actually, I've been watching this trailer on loop here on my IMDb. It looks kind of crazy and maybe be kind of fun, something to check out here at
yeah.
some point. But not something I'm going to go out to the movies to see for sure, for sure. And then we also have a horror film. We are starting to get into that type time of season. This could be good. I don't know for sure, but this one's probably the one I'm the most interested in hearing about. But it's called The Barbarian. And primarily, so this sounds a lot like a new take on Hostel. It's a woman staying at an Airbnb, and things are not what it seems. So I guess it's just Hostel for, people don't stay in hostels anymore. We stay in Airbnbs. But this one stars Bill Skarsgård, who is quickly becoming like the horror icon of this generation, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was great. As Pennywise in the new It, and then of course It Chapter 2. He was that creepy dude in Castle Rock. Yeah, no, he's terrifying. I mean, I've seen him without makeup, and he's actually a really good looking guy. You put any sort of makeup on this dude, and he becomes the scariest thing you've ever seen in your life. I don't know how it works. Good on you, Bill. Because
Good on,
yeah,
good
but
on you.
yeah, I had heard about this one. I'd forgotten that that's what it was called, and I am kind of interested in it. I hope that it's less um graphic than Hostel, because Hostel got to the point where it was scary, but it was also just violent for violence sake, and
Hmm.
there's a place for that, I suppose. There's a bunch of there's a cult following for like those super violent,
Super gory stuff.
very
Yeah.
graphic horror films. But I'm really hoping that it's got a little bit more depth to it. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. This will be something. I don't think I'm going to get to the theater to see it because I don't want to scream in front of a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
So I'll
Yeah. As someone,
probably watch this when it gets out on video, and I'll scream quietly
and
in
and
the
I'll
comfort of my
scream
own
and
home.
I'll scream and cry in the corner. Yeah, as someone who is not that big into gory, bloody massacres, I'm probably not that interested to see it. So I'll have to wait and see kind of what the response is on it before I decide if I'm going to put it into the Halloween rotation. But that's what we've got coming this week. So let us know at home if you're going to be heading out to check out any of these. Let us know if you took part in that $3 movie day. Let us know what you went and saw, and let us know if you make any of these Blade Runner cocktails because they're beautiful. Or even, let us know if these are way too complicated, couldn't be bothered, 0 stars, didn't read too long. So let us know. And thanks for hanging out with us in the lobby bar. We are going to go have a rewatch of Blade Runner. Maybe it'll make sense eventually to us. I don't know. Find out this Thursday, and we will knock out one more cocktail and talk about that movie. But for now, Michaela, movie's about to start. Grab the Johnny Walker. Let's go.